Dandasana, sitting straight, hands in cup shape by the sides of the hip joints, allowing the chest to be fully expanded. Interlace the thumbs together, change the interlace of the chain of the thumbs. And inhale, stretch the arms all the way up, straight those elbows, look forward. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale, release the hands, bend the knees and hold on to the knees to sit straight. Preparation for Navasana, the boat pose. Once the spine is straight and long, shift the weight to the back and bring the shins parallel to the floor, hands parallel to the floor, to a variation of Navasana, the boat pose. And release. Hold those legs in order to bring lengthening to the spine. And we'll go to the full boat pose, Paripurna Navasana, holding onto the knees, shifting the weight to the back, and straight those legs firmly, straight the hands parallel to the floor, and allow the spine to be as long, chest extended. Inhale. And exhale, release, hug the legs inside to allow the back, the relaxation. And hold on to the big toes to Ubaya Padangushtasana, lengthening the legs up. Holding onto the toes firmly and bringing the chest and the back forward and up. Maintaining the position of the back forward and up. And moving on to Paripurna Navasana, boat pose. And release. Hug those legs in and sit once more in Dandasana, legs straight. Ardha Navasana, half boat pose, hands behind the head. Shift the weight to the back and elevate the legs up. The head and the legs are in the same height. Ardha Navasana. Paripurna Navasana, boat pose. Ardha Navasana, half boat. And release, lay down on your back. One more preparation for this Ardha Navasana pose. Hands behind the head. Lift up the head, look forward, lift up the upper back. Bend one knee, bend the other one. And now stretch the legs low and close to the ground. Look at the toes. And release and rest, lying on your back. Put some support behind your head till it touches the shoulders. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, holding onto the sides of the mat. Bend your knees, lengthen the feet up, lengthen the legs up to a 90-degree angle. Allow the shoulders to move down towards the mat. Chin in, and the back of the neck is long. Bend the knees and release and rest on your back. One more time. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, holding on to the edges, to the sides of the mat. Bring the knees inside. Lengthen the legs to a 90-degree angle. And lower them to a 60-degree angle. Now bring the lower back firmly onto the mat so that nothing can move through between the lower back and the mat, and lower down to a 30-degree angle. "60, 90. Bend the knees and release. Rest on your back. Jatara Parivratanasana, twist of the belly. So I'm supporting the head with this blanket. Stretching the arms to the side. Bring the knee into the chest and up to a 90-degree angle. Make sure that the feet are together and bring the feet to the right side, close to the right hand. And now pressing down on the back of the right hand and stretching out the left hand. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take the legs left, close to the ground, pressing down the back of the left hand and stretching out the right hand to twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release and rest, lying on your back. And let's move to lying on the belly, Shalavasana. Hands forward. Bring the big toes together. Engage the quadricep muscles and allow the tailbone to lengthen. Inhale and lift your head, your hands, your legs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Head on the side. And rest for a few breaths. Foreheads on the mat. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Bring the big toes together. And engage those quads. Lengthen the tailbone in. And on your next inhale, lift up, look up, Shalavasana. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, release. Change the position of the head and rest completely. One last time. Head in the center, forehead to the mat. Change the interlock of the fingers behind the back. Big toes together. Engage those quads. Lengthening the tailbone. Inhale. All the way up, hands and legs. Gaze forward. On your next inhale, lift yourself all the way sky high. And release. And rest completely on the mat. Chaturanga, the four limbs pose. Forehead on the mat. Bring the hands to the side of the chest. Tuck the toes under. Engage the quads, lengthening to the tailbone. Looking up and begin pressing down the palms to elevate yourself a little bit off the mat. Chaturanga. Release. Take a few breaths. From Chaturanga to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, out, upward facing dog. Place the forehead on the mat. Hands to the side of the chest. Tuck the toes under. Engage the quads. Tailbone is lengthening. Look forward. Push onto the mat. Chaturanga. Roll over to the back of the foot. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Tailbones long. Engaging the quads. And taking the shoulder blades back to open the chest. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Push firmly onto the mat and roll those sit bones up and back. Release back to sitting. Purvottanasana, a variation with bent knees. We start from Dandasana, bending the knees until the whole sole of the foot is firmly on the mat. Tailbone is long, pushing the heels onto the mat to elevate the pelvis up and release the head down. Release. Lay on your back. Chatushpadasana. Laying on the back, holding the ankles and bringing the heels close to the pelvis region. Roll one shoulder in and the other shoulder in. And begin to push those heels onto the mat so that you can lift the pelvic region up. Tailbone in and moving the knees towards the head so that the chest is going to the chin. Release. Lay on your back. Place a support under the head and relax the body on the mat for 1 minute. Namaste.